It is College Football National Signing Day, and we are here to break down the Alabama 2021 recruiting class. Now, before we get into this, please make note, if you want even more Alabama coverage, go do it with our friends over at Tide Talk Sports. Ricky Green's got a channel, youtube.com/TideTV. He'll go even more in depth on everything Alabama. Now, as for this 2021 recruiting class, oh, look, the Tide are number one in everything again. The 24/7 Sports Composite, ESPN, Rivals, 24/7 Sports. We've heard this before. It's pretty straightforward. Alabama once again leading the way. 26 commits, and as we'll get into, they might not be done yet. 7 different 5-stars, 15 4-stars, and even some 3-stars at Alabama, which, if I'm being honest, I'm surprised they weren't automatically bumped up to being 4-star recruits. Now, before we dive into the full recruiting class, Alabama fans in the comments section, can I get a Roll Tide? Now, if you're not an Alabama fan, feel free to type in boo. You can argue if you want, just don't try and be too mean to each other. But if you're a Tide fan, give me a Roll Tide in the comments section. All right, let's break down this class in depth here, beginning with the number 2 overall player, J.C. Latham, out of Florida, an offensive tackle, and in theory, we'll have a bookend duo on the outside with Tommy Brockermeyer, another 5-star offensive tackle. 2 different commits in the top 5, both playing tackle for Alabama. Go figure, right? Both of those 2 guys, by the way, have already enrolled at Alabama. On the defensive line now, Dallas Turner, a 5-star defensive end, number 8 overall, also from Florida, by the way. The Tide picked up the top 2 players in the state of Florida in this year's class, and they might not be done when it comes to the top 5 players. JT Tuimoloau is set to visit Alabama. The number 3 overall player is not expected and not at all to make a decision today on signing day. He's going to take his time and then decide, and Alabama is very much in the mix to land him. Now, they also picked up another significant player, namely Camar Wheaton. He had committed to Alabama after early signing day. He made the announcement this morning, and the letter of intent should be coming in shortly for the Crimson Tide. He is the number 2 running back in the nation, number 33 overall, and on top of that, happens to be the number 5 player from the state of Texas. Alabama once again showing the rich get richer. Another player to keep an eye out for today, Terrion Arnold, the 4-star safety, is down to 3 schools, but all 3 SEC, of course, right? Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. He is set to make his decision later in the day on Wednesday, down in the afternoon. Number 3 safety in the nation, another top player from Florida. The Crimson Tide have a very real chance of landing him, making what is already the best class in the nation even better. Now, as mentioned, we do have an Alabama channel for you guys, youtube.com/TideTV. I'll put that link for you guys in the comments and in the description. My man Ricky Green breaks it all down for you guys over there, coaching moves, a ton of Alabama coverage. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. All right, more on this Alabama recruiting class. Oh, look, and again, number 1 in the nation. Ohio State is number 2, Georgia's 3, LSU's 4, and Clemson number 5, all looking up at the national champions. In specifically just the SEC, 4 of the top 6, pretty wild, right? Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and Texas A&M, and then Florida. We don't often see the number 5 SEC team being all the way down there, but they're number 13, but all of them still trying to chase Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide. Let's continue along with even more 5-star recruits. Elite name alert, Jaquincy McKinstry, a 5-star cornerback, number 17 overall, who has also enrolled early. Damon Payne is next up here, number 23 overall, a defensive tackle. And then another early enrollee from IMG Academy, of course, Jacorey Brooks, number 26 overall, a 5-star recruit. Alabama's got 4 different 5-stars who have already enrolled early, and that'll help them make an earlier impact in their college careers. Now, if you guys think that Nick Saban is the best recruiter in all of college football, I want you guys to type in me in the comments section. I assume all Bama fans feel that way, and non-Alabama fans, if we're being objective and honest, it's pretty clearly Nick Saban, so I should see plenty of me's rolling in there. Now, I mentioned 5-star receiver Jacorey Brooks, and that's not the only notable receiver Alabama's bringing in. 2 different 4-stars, Agiye and JoJo Earle. They actually flipped Earle during the early National Signing Day period. Hall has enrolled Earle. Earle did not. I think that makes sense. There's a lot of the same words right there, but I think you guys are getting what I'm saying there. Still inside the top 60 because this class is just stupid good. Deontae Lawson, a linebacker, number 51 overall. Terrence Ferguson, an offensive guard. Both of those two have already enrolled at Alabama. And then Keanu Koht, another flip on early National Signing Day, number 58 overall. And we are still not done going over prospects inside the top 100. How about Christian Leary, a receiver? Jalen Milroe, number 81 overall, a quarterback, dual threat, by the way. Monkell Goodwine, a defensive end. Those 3 guys have also enrolled early. That is a massive amount of top 100 recruits who are going to get a chance to help out Alabama early in their freshman years and benefit from enrolling early. There's also Kadarius Callaway, a 4-star athlete out of Mississippi. And then Kendrick Blackshire, another linebacker. He checks in number 166 overall out of Texas. So who is your favorite player in this year's class? Let me know what you guys think there in the comment section. Is it the quarterback? Is it one of those top-tier offensive linemen? Is it Camar Wheaton, who just made his decision final today for Alabama? Let me know what you guys think. Some more players here. How about Kane Williams, the number 175 overall safety. And then, yes, the other Brockermeyer, James Brockermeyer. He's a center, not highly as rated as his twin brother Tommy, but you know what? I think it's a pretty cool story to have 2 of the top 200 offensive players, or total players, I should say. Brockermeyer is the number 1 center, which is crazy to think about there. That might be an intriguing 1-2 punch on the offensive line for Bama down the road. Ian Jackson, another linebacker. A lot of offensive line talent coming in for this class for Alabama. It is deeper, but that makes sense. Jaeden Roberts, a guard. And then, frankly, just because of his name, my favorite recruit in this year's class for Alabama, Devonta Smith. No relation whatsoever. He's from LaSalle High School up in Cincinnati. Number 255 overall. He's a cornerback. Maybe he should switch to receiver based solely on his name, but still, I think that's pretty cool for Alabama right there. And if you guys love college football like I do, hit that big red button and subscribe. We keep you guys covered on all the major news around college football, such as coaching hot boards and changes and potential replacements, because if I've learned one thing about the SEC, it's that they're going to keep trying to hire Nick Saban coordinators, and it doesn't always work out because none of them are as good as Nick Saban. All right, some more players, or recruits, I should say, to go over here. This is the bottom of the class, and it's still like what most teams would love to get near the top of their class, right? Tim Keenan, a defensive tackle. Kyrie Jackson is the rare JUCO recruit to take his talents to the Crimson Tide. A cornerback, the number 4 JUCO in the class. Anquin Barnes, a defensive tackle. And then Robbie Oates, a tight end, because, well, Alabama just doesn't need to use tight ends when their receivers are as good as they've been over the past couple of seasons. So once again for Alabama, and it may not be done yet, it is the number 1 class in the nation, highlighted by 7 different 5-star recruits, and they might get one more, maybe another 4-star as well. This is once again shaping up to be an historic class for the Alabama Crimson Tide.